Hey guys, it's Holly with Bookasmic Review, and tonight I will be doing a review of Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. It is the first book in the Wolves of Mercy Falls series, and it is a story of a girl named Grace who, when she's 7 years old, she is attacked by a pack of wolves in the woods out behind her house. And later, she doesn't really remember very much of the attack, except that there was one wolf who had yellow eyes who pretty much saved her life. And from that moment on, she sort of looks at that wolf as being her wolf, sort of her protector. And every winter she sees the wolf, he comes and sits at the edge of the woods and sort of watches over her. And then one day, when I believe she's 16, she comes home and she finds this boy collapsed at her back door, and he's covered in blood, and he has yellow eyes. And it turns out that the boy, named Sam, is her wolf shifted into human form. And despite everything that I just said, Shiver is not really a book about werewolves. Shiver is more of a love story between Grace and Sam, and Sam's desperate desire to remain human so he can stay with Grace. Because one of the really cool aspects of this book is at the beginning of each chapter, and this book does have differing POV. Each one chapter will be through Sam's point of view, and the next chapter will be through Grace's point of view. And I know a lot of people don't like that, but it doesn't really bother me. But one of the cool things about it is that at the beginning of every chapter, it tells you the temperature outside. And that's very important because as it gets colder and colder outside, Sam gets closer to shifting back into a wolf. And in the scope of this series, a wolf is only given so many summers. They eventually get to a point where they shift into a wolf and they never become human again. And Sam feels like he's getting very close to that. And I have had this book on my to-be-read shelf forever, it seems like. I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. Even though a lot of people told me how great it was, I just never got around to reading it. And I could kick myself because this is one of the best books I have ever read. And I've been very fortunate in 2011 for having been able to read some really incredible books, but this is right up there, probably in my top 5 favorite books of all time. And as far as world building goes, Maggie Stiefvater does an excellent job. You definitely feel like you're in the story while reading it, and you believe the whole myth surrounding the wolves and how they come into being and where they come from, and just everything just makes sense. And her style of writing is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And as far as characters go, I absolutely love Grace and Sam. They are hands down one of my favorite couples in fiction. And at this point, you might want to sit down for this, but I really think that I like Grace and Sam more than I like Jason Clary from Mortal Instruments and Jem, Will, and Tessa from Infernal Devices, and those are 2 of my favorite series. There, I said it, and I stick by it, because they just work so well together, and they're so believable. And the character of Sam, he breaks my heart in this book so many times and in so many different ways. And he's just such a unique character to YA fiction, because it seems like male leads in the majority of YA fiction that I read anyway seem to be more along the bad boy type, to sort of keep their emotions and their feelings closed off until practically the end of the book or even the end of the series. And Sam, on the other hand, just like wears his heart on his sleeve from the very beginning of this book. He is just head over heels in love with Grace, and he is just willing to do just about anything to stay with her. And he's just such a refreshing character, and I could sit here and be such a fangirl over him, but I'm resisting the temptation, because you don't want to see that. And I don't really want to watch myself be a fangirl over him. But just suffice it to say that this is such an incredible book, and if you don't really think that you would enjoy something like this, if you're like me, you don't like the whole werewolf thing, give this a try, because another one of the great things about this book, and just a testament to her storytelling abilities, is that she doesn't really refer to the wolves as werewolves very often. She just refers to them as wolves, and I think that works really well in the scope of the story. And so on a scale of 1 to 5 stars, this is a big, huge 5-star book for me. Absolutely fantastic, amazing. Read this book. I am currently reading the second book right now, which is called Linger. So, as always, guys, if you have any book recommendations or any ideas for future videos or any questions at all, leave me some comments, show me some love, and as always, happy reading, guys. Talk to you next time.